to this week's energy forecast. I am Rachel Thompson Phillips, the creator of the BU Oracle cards, which is what we will be using today to do this week's forecast for June the 4th through till June the 10th. So this week, our energy forecast, starting with Monday to Tuesday, is gratitude. Wednesday through till Friday is soul, and Saturday and Sunday is about focus. So this week's overall theme is about learning to stay present. Okay, so let's go in and discuss how that occurs. So let me find the right card. So gratitude, as you may have heard, gratitude is the best attitude. Now, the reason why gratitude is such a profound quality or skill to do, because what we're doing is that we're making ourselves become present. A lot of the times there can be a lot of stress for people because they're so far projected into the future. They worry about their dreams, their goals, and how are they going to get there, what needs to get done, and they get trapped in a cycle of just thinking, and then a lot of the times there's no actual inspired action that's followed by that because you're just so exhausted by thinking about your own thoughts. What gratitude does is that moment to be able to bring yourself present, to remind yourself, what are you grateful for now? And knowing the fact that the dreams that you want to be able to manifest in the future begins with every given step that you do right now. So if you recognize the beauty that is within you, you'll also be able to unlock that potential of being able to see that you can create that focus, so you can create that knowingness within you that those dreams that you want to be able to chase all begin with what you do right now. So you can sit there and visualize yourself and remind yourself, or go through some beautiful little gratitude mantra that is reminding yourself of all the things that you are grateful for right in this very given moment. And this opens our heart to be able to allow beautiful blessings to come in. It relieves and alleviates any stress that is going on in our world, because we worry with what we don't have, and gratitude brings us back to being grateful for all of the good things that you have already created and co-created with the universe in the current now. So the more that you stay present, the more that you remind yourself of all the amazing things in your world, is also then going to be able to help you recognize the fact that you can make these dreams come true that you want. But it all begins with what you do right now. So spend Monday and Tuesday, reminding yourself of all the things that you are so incredibly grateful for. Wednesday through till Friday is about soul. Now, soul is about that remembering what you're so passionate about. That soul is about opening up that creative channel. A lot of the times when we chase dreams, we get very, very stuck in the fact that there's only one way to achieve something. This is that moment to become really expansive and be really open. I mean, we've just moved into the star sign of Gemini. Gemini is about spontaneity. It is about fun. It is about freedom. And when we get stressed, we become very, very restrictive, and we become very stifled in our thoughts. And this is where we can use that beautiful Gemini energy to allow expansion, to allow that freedom to explore, that social, like Geminis are very, very social. So just talking about, being around positive people are also going to inspire you to connect back into what you're really passionate about. And this is where we get to communicate. Using that creative outlet is a beautiful way to connect in with our soul, because our soul is always guiding us every single step of the way. And sometimes when we least expect it, all of the answers that we are seeking presents themselves, because when you are so focused on what are all the tiny things that you need to be able to do to achieve these goals, or worrying about that you're here in this world and you're needing to move there and you're not sure how do you get yourself in between, this is that moment where we can take a little bit of a step back, take a breathing moment to just really connect in to that internal spunk within yourself, and remember how incredibly creative you are, and that there is always more than one way to achieve this. And when we open up that creative channel, we also open up that potential to be able to hear our intuition, that soul guidance that has been communicated to you all the time. Because when you're stuck, trapped in your own mind, you become very, very disassociated from realizing that you have all of these amazing resources around you that are helping you to co-create the future that you want. So stop for a moment, just catch your breath and go off and do something that's incredibly creative to connect back in with yourself, de-stress, bring some of that fun back in, and remember that you've got this. Sitting trapped in your head isn't going to help you get any closer to what you want. All that's going to do is exhaust you on a mental, emotional, physical, and a soulful level. And then a lot of the times when we become that exhausted, we don't even actually want to start the process of chasing our goals because we've exhausted ourselves that much. We've stripped away all of the fun and the joy that's out there. And who really wants to have dreams that aren't exciting? No one. So this is that moment where you just are sort of giving back to yourself to just nourish yourself and know that that is also going to work to help co-create what it is that what you are striving for at this time. On Saturday and Sunday is about being able to remember to bring that focus in. When we become present, we get to be able to know what are the tiny steps that we need to take in order to be able to achieve the dreams. So on the weekend, there's that really momentous moment where we get to have a look at the overall picture of what it is that you want. Get very, very specific on it. Then write it down and then look at what are the tiny steps that you can take to be able to achieve this dream. Because at the moment, there seems to be what I call old world and new world. We want to be able to achieve all of these dreams, which are new world. We're working really hard. We're striving really fast to get there. But we still have one foot back in old world. And old world is where our comfort zone, and old world is, not fully committed to the process of what you need to do and who you need to be to get to where you want to go. And old world is like, putting on that favorite soft, comfy jumper that you can just like sloth around. And that's what old world is. Just you're familiar with it, you know it. So that transition where you haven't actually put 2 feet into new world is causing this conflict that's going on within ourselves at this point. What we really need to do is be able to just take a moment and ask yourself the question, if what it is that you are wanting to manifest and what the dreams are that you want to chase, how important are they to you? Because if something is really important, you will find a way to make these things happen. If they're not important, you will come up with every excuse. So therefore, if we're not being really honest with ourselves, we can consume and waste a whole great deal of energy if you find out that, it's really not that important. I thought that doing, XYZ would make me feel really good about myself, or that was what I really wanted. But now I've actually discovered it's probably not as important, and there's something else out there where you spend so much consumable time and energy wasting on something that you're not so very, very passionate about. And that is the difference, is that this week you're going to come to that conclusion of making that decision as to what are you really passionate about. Because when you're passionate, man, that inspired action is just a natural progress, and that it is okay to feel a little bit scared while you make those transitions. But this is where the focus on the weekend comes back into place, because we start having a look at what are the tiny little steps that it's going to take, because we don't achieve our goals with great big bite-sized leaps and bounds forward. Dreams and goals come through tiny little steps, and being able to remember that it's okay to have fears and doubts, so long as they don't consume you. So that helps make that transition from point, old world into new world so much more easier, because we can let go of that internal conflict that's going on, going, you should be doing this and you should be doing that. No, you're supposed to, at this point, be creative and have some fun and go out and socialize and just sort of let go and let things evolve, because you've already been thinking about what it is that you want for a really long time. I would say that this beautiful week is all about preparation, getting really honest with your own self, and understanding that it's perfectly okay to be fearful, because if it didn't scare you, then it wouldn't mean that it's that important for you. When something is so important and you make that decision to commit to what you want, it is natural to have doubts and fears, so long as we don't use those as a way to hold ourselves back. So I hope that this week is incredibly exciting for yourself. Remember, we are in a Gemini month, so it's all about that expansion. And expansion is in expanding your energy, expanding your mind, expanding your thoughts, expanding your beliefs, to remember that you can achieve anything. You are only limited by what you think. And so therefore some people are going to feel really, really driven to be able to move into that expansion of going in and doing some more self-discovery, because we don't always know. I mean, we have this bigger picture of the ideal life or the ideal world that we want to create for ourselves. Now we need to be able to look at how do we turn things around to bring ourselves into alignment with the direction that we want to go in. And that expansion means that sometimes we want to go and do some more study, we want to go and learn more about a particular aspect in your life, because that's helping you grow. And we as humans, we are here to grow, and we learn through experiences. And that also means that sometimes we don't always understand at the very beginning why we've been feel so passionate about going in a certain direction, but you just have to remember that your soul knows exactly where you need to be. So even if you're not 100% sure why you want to go and learn something, remember your soul knows its bigger picture. So allow yourself to just let go of having to hold on to everything so tight, and to be able to know every single step. Because you know what, when we know every single step, that robs us of any real joy in any area for developing our own self and understanding ourselves on a completely different level. So this is a week for expansion and growing and developing and exploring and being curious and discovering new things about yourself, whilst taking all of that pressure off yourself this week. Because the moment you take the pressure off is the moment that yourself and your soul can just breathe. And then you will find that things will naturally fall into a beautiful place. So look out for signs and synchronicities. They're there for a very good reason. And I wish you all an amazing week. And if you feel like this message is something that you would love to share, please hit the subscribe button and share with your friends. Take care and have an amazing week. Much love.